I remember the moment I finally decided to quit porn for good as if it were yesterday. My girlfriend at the time and I had been together for a few months now. I had already landed a few regular clients in my coaching business at the time, and I had managed to get some pretty decent NoFap streaks in the bank. It was late at night after a good day of hard work. I was peacefully scrolling on my phone in bed when a sudden thought hit me. I know you said you'd quit porn, but what about audio porn? What if you quit porn without ever trying that out? A little bit of audio porn wouldn't count, right? What a clever argument. 5 minutes later, I'm ejaculating to some kind of random thirst audio on Spotify. That was my moment of awakening. I was like, there's no fucking way all my people are looking up to a guy who just jerked off to an audio on Spotify. I am done with that bullshit. So what's my solution? I open my journal and start writing affirmations. This gives you an idea of how desperate I was. Self-sexuality is a waste of time, love, and life energy. Self-sexuality is a waste of time, love, and life energy, and so on. I did that every morning, every evening, and it worked for a few months. But little did I know, this approach only compounded my struggle. My name is Danny Banchev. I'm the founder of the Off Porn Academy, and today I want to share with you 3 reasons on why you should never stop masturbating forever. So the next few minutes will be separated into 2 different sections. In the first one, we're going to cover the dangers of sexual repression, and then in the second one, I'm going to give you 3 proven reasons why you should practice mindful masturbation. Let me share with you one of my favorite quotes ever from Dr. Jordan Peterson. There's nothing more adventurous than telling the truth. Here's the thing about truth. It's one of the most difficult forms of delayed gratification. It almost always feels so uncomfortable in the moment. But what's the alternative? You can try to deceive your way into getting what you want. But how do you know that what you want is also what you truly need? Trying to dismiss sexuality as completely irrelevant and pretending like masturbation has no benefits is a total illusion. And just like any other lie, it always leads to long-term consequences. It surely did for religious institutions. The next section of this video contains sensitive information, so I've replaced all the words that could get my message censored with inappropriate behavior. It's only a matter of time until the algorithms get as intuitive as we are, so let's make the most out of it. Cheers to freedom of speech while it's still here. So let me read something I got for you. According to Bravehearts, an organization dedicated to protecting children from inappropriate behavior, a group of social workers interviewed about 7,000 survivors in private sessions, of whom about 4,000, so 60%, reported inappropriate behavior in religious institutions. The majority of survivors were male, and the age of the first inappropriate behavior is 10 years old. The most common religious context in which alleged inappropriate behavior occurred were religious schools, 39%, religious institutions such as orphanages, children's homes and missions, 35.2%, and places of worship, 24.8%. Listen, I have nothing against the spiritual, loving, and unifying parts of religion, but trying to repress the fundamental biological reason why we even exist in the first place and how our species survived through eons is where things get fucked. At some point in history, perhaps when we transitioned from nomadic hunter-gatherers to sedentary civilized beings, we became so afraid of the instinctive power of sex that we decided to ignore it overall, pretending like it doesn't exist. All of a sudden, one of the most common and essential acts in nature became taboo, or even worse, evil. The NoFap movement is just another manifestation of this fear. Yes, human sexuality is complex and doing the inner work sucks, but what is the alternative? Destructive consequences. Not a good idea. That's why I would much rather promote progressive healing towards a healthy sexuality where we can experience all the benefits of sexual mastery without any of the downsides. I would much rather promote this than the NoFap bullshit. So let's take a look at 3 reasons why you should never stop masturbating without watching porn, of course. Reason number 1, health. And there are 2 sections in health. Section number 1, stress relief. We all know masturbation releases dopamine, but it also releases oxytocin, also known as the love hormone. These 2 hormones significantly reduce cortisol, which is known as the stress hormone, therefore creating sustainable levels of peace. Knowing that we're considered as the most anxious generation in history, a little bit of stress relief won't hurt. Now the second section in health is prostate cancer. Classic. And before all my NoFap ideologues come at me, let me read you a study from Harvard. In 1992, 29,342 men between the ages of 46 and 81 provided information about their average number of ejaculations per month. The volunteers provided comprehensive health and lifestyle data every 2 years until the study concluded in the year 2000. Listen to this, okay? Compared to men who reported 4 to 7 ejaculations per month across their lifetimes, men who ejaculated 21 or more times a month enjoyed a 31% lower risk of prostate cancer. 30%, bro. And the results held up to rigorous statistical evaluation even after other lifestyle factors. I'm not saying this should be an excuse for you to jerk off all day long every day to porn and stuff. What I'm saying is a little bit of masturbation from time to time, maybe following the intermittent semen retention formula that I teach in my other videos and in the Off Porn Academy. Link in the description, little shameless plug, but maybe practicing that, right? And sure, other lifestyle factors like diet, exercise, sleep, they surely can reduce prostate cancer as well, absolutely. But 30% ain't nothing, I'm just saying. Alright, reason number 2, self-awareness. Everything is shown up by being exposed to the light, and whatever is exposed itself becomes light. This is a quote by Saint Paul. We are infinitely deep and complex beings, yet society has conditioned us to see love as something very conditional. We love those who are good and we hate those who are bad. But that's not love. That's attachment. True love has no conditions. It's omnipresent. It loves every being and thing into existence. To truly love yourself, you must be willing to look at the light and the dark. That's why I personally love using masturbation as meditation. It's a process I often call mindful masturbation. It allows you to shed light on some of the most repressed parts of your psyche. And the moment you can look at the darkest parts of yourself and still be comfortable with them, that is when you experience unshakable confidence. It's also when real change begins, which brings us to reason number 3, shifting the story. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasures you seek. Joseph Campbell. In the past 3 years of being both a student and a teacher on the sexual mastery journey, I've noticed that what people tend to suffer from the most isn't even porn or masturbation. It's their fantasies. It's that strange and complex love-hate relationship between you and the very thing that brings you both extreme pleasure and very deep pain. I believe there is no more crucial moment on your journey than the one when you finally gain the courage to face these dragons and let them out of their cage. Only then can you realize that they actually hold no power over you. It's just a bunch of conditioned neural networks. That's when, just by the power of your awareness alone, you can start writing a new story. One where your sexuality isn't so shameful after all, and where it can become a beautiful vehicle for connection, creativity, and just progress in its own way. Again, important note here, I am not encouraging daily masturbation, even if you consider it as mindful. I still believe semen retention is one of the most incredible journeys a man can go on, but I'm saying just not forever. That's why I prefer intermittent semen retention in periods. If you want to know more about it, check out the Off Porn Academy. The link is in the description. Alright, my people, that was all for me today. I'm sure some of y'all are mad right now, and I would be open to seeing your perspective in the comments. We're all just students on a journey, and all I'm doing here is sharing what has worked for me. With that being said, whenever you're ready, there are 3 more ways I can help you. Number 1, if you prefer learning by reading, then you'll be happy to hear that this video you just watched is the exact script of only one of the 3 lessons in this week's edition of the Triple Wisdom Wednesdays, which is my newsletter. So every week I share 3 valuable lessons that can help you progress faster with less pain. It takes about 10 minutes to read and is completely free. So if you want to sign up, the link is in the description. Or if you prefer learning by watching videos like you just did, then you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll be very grateful. Now, the second way I can help you is that if you're a man and you're just tired of always breaking your promises, feeling ashamed of yourself, then you can join us in the #1 porn addiction recovery brotherhood in the world. It's called the Off Porn Academy. The link is in the description. We'll be right there waiting for you on the other side. And last but not least, number 3, if you don't want to be left behind in this digital gold rush, then you can join the school games where 30.4% of new members make their first dollar online. Start your free trial today. The link is in the description as well. Other than that, thank you all so much for listening. I'm so grateful for y'all. Much love. I'll see you here soon. Bye-bye.